Mankind has been around for a long time, and they have left behind some incredible things. Ancient civilizations are fascinating, and many of them were so advanced that they seem to be from an alternate reality. The ruins left behind by these incredible societies will continue to fascinate people for centuries. There is still much we don't know about how their society functioned or why it fell into ruin in the first place. In this video, I cover some of the most mysterious and captivating sites around the world, perfect for anyone who wants to travel back through time. Petra is believed to have been established in 312 BC, making it one of the oldest cities in the world. Also known as the Rose City and one of the most famous and pleasant ancient sites in the world. It was built by the Nabateans and is filled with well-preserved monuments and buildings. One of its best features includes Al-Khazne, the treasury, which is a monumental yet beautiful example of ancient architecture. The monument is made of red sandstone and has a staircase that leads to an elevated entrance. A rock-cut structure that was cut into the mountain and faces east to capture the sun. Another well-known aspect of Petra includes the monastery, which sits atop one of 3 peaks surrounding Petra's valley floor. The mountain has its internal system, including a columbarium and an underground church. The main entrance of the site, known as the Sick, has an elongated and narrow gorge that is around 800 meters in length. It also features several narrow passageways, large stairs, and obelisks that line both sides of the gorge. The Nabateans were traders and merchants who developed Petra as an important trading site. They used the city as their main center for trading. When visiting Petra, it is highly recommended to hire a local guide to help navigate the site, as well as explain some of its history and significance. If you take a tour of Petra, don't forget to explore the Wadi Desert while you are here. The Wadi is a desert valley that runs along the edge of Petra. It's one of Jordan's most famous natural wonders, and it shows an astonishing amount of geological diversity in such a small area. The colors are mesmerizing. Wadi Desert has the most beautiful colors at dawn and dusk. The colors of the rocks and sky will take your breath away as they change from moment to moment. Around dusk is also when you can best see all the stars in this desert area. It is famous for having an incredible night sky experience. The landscape consists mostly of sand and rocks. The many shades of red, orange, and purple that make up the desert's landscape are a result of minerals in the sand. A must-see in Mexico is Chichen Itza. Located north of Cancun and near the Yucatan Peninsula, was built nearly 2,000 years ago and is now one of Mexico's most popular tourist attractions. The name Chichen Itza means "at the mouth of the well of the Itza" and was a Mayan city in Mexico. The site offers visitors both awe and discovery as they explore this ancient civilization's stone structures, which stand testament to how advanced these people were many centuries ago. One feature that makes them so compelling is their vast size, and there are thousands of meters still left to be explored. The site has many significant structures, which are linked with Mayan mythology. The architectural principles seen on these temples have parallels all over Central America. Many people believe that this influence is what led to the rise of Mayan civilization in southern Mexico and Guatemala around 300 AD. It contains 2 large pyramid structures, El Castillo and the Temple of Kukulkan. There are many other smaller pyramids as well, temples that were used for various purposes, such as ball games, markets, gatherings, prayer, etc. Some believe that it served as an ancient observatory, with its location at 18 deg north latitude, which is perfect for viewing equinoxes during sunrise or sunset. Other archaeological sites in the area include Ekbalam, Labna, and Koba. Chichen Itza is also close to Cenote Ikil. The cenotes, or sinkholes, are natural wonders and the most significant and unusual features in the area. The Lushen giant Buddha is an awe-inspiring sight. It was originally constructed in the year 713 AD by a single monk and took 90 years to complete. Many other engineering feats can be seen at this location, but what stands out most is the large Buddha statue. The statue reaches a height of 71 meters, 233 feet, and weighs more than 300 metric tons. The construction of the Lushen giant Buddha was an important event in Chinese history because it helped to protect people from flooding. The water that flows beneath this statue is what creates a barrier against floods and landslides. There are about 80,000 cubic meters, that's equivalent to 13 Olympic swimming pools, of water stored within the statue, and carved into a cliff that overlooks the Minjing River. It is an interesting sight to see because it has survived for so long and its construction required engineering feats of its own. The statue was built using a typical chisel and hammer. The statue was carved out of a solid piece of granite. This Buddha statue represents the longing for enlightenment, and it is considered to be one of the most beautiful works of art in China. Not only that, but its engineering achievements have allowed people to live a more peaceful life. It was built as a symbol of peace and harmony. This Buddha statue is truly a sight to behold. Cappadocia is a magical place in Turkey where the earth has been transformed by volcanic eruptions and earthquakes into something that can only be described as floating. The result of these natural forces is a surreal landscape with fantastical rock formations like chimneys, cone-shaped hills, and large boulders all intermingled together. It's an amazing destination for adventure lovers and nature enthusiasts, and was once home to early Christians fleeing persecution. Today, it is home to many who are seeking refuge from modern persecutions. There are ancient churches carved right into the rocks, monasteries built high up on cliffs, and underground cities. The name Cappadocia is derived from the Greek name of the area, which translates to the land of beautiful horses. The ancient Greek and Roman ruins can be found in the Monk's Valley in Gorm. Take one of the numerous hiking routes that allow you to get up close and personal with nature. The hot air balloons here are so much fun. It is one of the most popular ways to take in the region's breathtaking landscape. The balloons are tethered at an altitude of about 200 meters and provide 360-degree views of impressive rock formations. The ancient cave homes at Akhisar, which are also unique, were constructed by the Bronze Age inhabitants of Turkey nearly 5,000 years ago. Today, they remain in use and provide a fascinating glimpse into the lives of Turkey's earliest settlers. Borobudur, the ninth wonder of the world, is one of the world's most significant Buddhist monuments. Located in central Java, Indonesia, it was built in 700 AD and abandoned shortly after 200 years. The site is set in a beautiful, tropical environment with mountains and volcanoes rising in the distance, which is both visually appealing and relaxing. The temple consists of 6 square platforms topped by 3 circular terraces, topped by the main stupa on top. It has 3 levels containing Buddha statues carved from volcanic rock, which represent our past lives, present life, and future life respectively. The main stupa is surrounded by 72 Buddha statues. The base of the Borobudur is in the stone block, but it was concealed with layers of volcanic tuff. It is the most complex site ever built in the history of humankind. This monument is both a shrine to Lord Buddha and also an abode for Buddhist teaching. It has 2 levels. The upper level contains 3 circular terraces. The lower level contains 4 rectangular courtyards surrounded by walls that enclose the base of the monument. The Assembly Hall is the first courtyard, which is a large circular structure, and the second through 4th courtyards contain stupas in relief that depict Lord Buddha's life. The courtyard walls are also adorned with bas-relief sculptures depicting Jataka tales, Buddhist lore, and Hindu mythology. The Roman Colosseum was a source of wonder to all those who saw it. It is an architectural marvel and one of the most recognizable buildings in the world, having been depicted countless times on television and film over many decades. Not only that, but also its history makes it truly unique. This building has seen triumphs as well as tragedies, and all this is reflected in its design, and has survived for over 2,000 years. It was built during the peak of the Roman Empire, and it still stands today as a testament to its builder's ingenuity. The Colosseum is located in the center of Rome, and it has been used for many different purposes since its construction. It began as a site of entertainment where thousands of people would gather to watch gladiator fights and other large-scale events. This type of event is referred to as an amphitheater because it is circular with tiered seating. The Colosseum was also used for animal hunts and executions of criminals, but these events were phased out as the Roman Empire fell apart. As the empire fell apart, there was less and less entertainment to be had in Rome. The Colosseum measures 188 meters in diameter with walls 25 meters high, making it one of the largest buildings ever constructed. For centuries, it has been a symbol of the Roman Empire's power and wealth, and one of the most well-preserved buildings in antiquity. With its original outer walls still standing, the Colosseum is an outstanding example of Roman architecture. The Great Wall of China is one of the most iconic structures in the world. It's an architectural marvel that stretches across many miles and has been around for centuries. What you may not know about this ancient site is that it was built to amplify national pride. It was primarily erected during the Ming Dynasty. The goal behind its construction was to protect the country's borders from invasion. That's why you see all sorts of towers and fortifications along its length. What is fascinating about the wall, though, are the elaborate carvings along its length. These carvings were made specifically to showcase the power and might of China's military. There are so many interesting things to learn about how these structures came to exist, not only from an architectural perspective, but also for what they represent. Don't forget to take some time out on your trip and enjoy the stunning views that you'll get along with this ancient site. There are a few different styles of wall construction that you can see when visiting the Great Wall, including brick and dry stone walls. The most famous part is made up mostly of bricks. This was built sometime between 220 BC to 1644 AD. It's fascinating seeing how long it has stood. These ancient buildings have withstood some serious tests over time and are still standing for visitors to enjoy today. The Angkor Wat Temple is believed to be the world's largest religious monument, and was built by the Khmer people during the time of the Angkor Empire. It's an outstanding example of architecture and sculpture. This area has been under restoration projects for several years now because it had suffered damages due to natural disasters. The temple took over 30 years to build and covers an area of 200 acres and has been designated as one of the world's most important archaeological sites, and it includes many beautiful carvings depicting Hinduism and Buddhism culture. It also houses plenty of places for tourists to explore. One could spend days exploring this ancient wonder. The most spectacular sight within Angkor Wat is the Central Tower. This tower is surrounded by sandstone walls that are nearly 3 miles in circular diameter. It was originally dedicated to Hindu deities and later became a Buddhist temple. It's believed that the architecture reflects the cosmic order as conceived by Hinduism and Buddhism at that time. The central tower symbolizes Mount Meru, the center of the universe, and it is surrounded by 5 smaller towers. Each side represents the cardinal points. 3 galleries inside represent earth, water, and air. 5-level pyramid represents a man with his head pointing to heaven. The towers in the east and west are dedicated to Shiva, the god of destruction, and Vishnu. The towers in the north and south are dedicated to Brahma, the god of creation, and Vishnu's better half Lakshmi. Angkor Wat is one of Cambodia's must-see attractions. These World Heritage Sites will leave you breathless with their beauty. Visitors to Stonehenge can experience the legendary stones of England's most mysterious prehistoric site. The monument is believed to have been built between 3000 and 2000 BC, when early Britons in Neolithic times erected a ring of massive upright sandstones with the earth around them in an open space near Salisbury Plain in southwest England. Stonehenge was originally used as an observatory for predicting eclipses, but there are still many unanswered questions about its purpose and builders. The stone circle has been a site of archaeological excavations and academic research since the 17th century. In 2008, English Heritage began an exhibition about Stonehenge to provide visitors with information on the theories surrounding its name and origins. Visitors can walk among the stones of this ancient landmark through a glass tunnel dug out from under one side of the monument. They can walk through the tunnel and explore an ancient stable for cattle that was built in front of Stonehenge. Most of the complex is still covered in earth, but visitors can see how it might have looked when built. They will also find out about the work that has been done at Stonehenge since World War II and its research into more than 2 millennia of human history surrounding this British treasure. Bagan, Myanmar is a historical gem that has been home to temples and stupas for over 1,000 years. This city of temples was once the capital of Burma. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site with over 2,200 pagodas and monasteries scattered around the plains of Bagan. It's not only one of the most significant archaeological sites in Southeast Asia, but also a world-renowned architectural masterpiece. Bagan is home to hundreds of ancient temples and stupas which stretch far and wide across. The temple spires against the sky in the early morning or late afternoon are a breathtaking sight. The history behind these structures is as fascinating as they are impressive. The temples are made up of brick, mud-sealed stucco, and stone. The main religious sites in Bagan are the Ananda Temple. All these structures were built in the 11th and 12th centuries. Each of these temples has its unique style, which is part of what makes this site so amazing to explore. The temples were built by King Anurada, who formed the first Burmese kingdom. Constructed between 1057 and 1287. The temples are intricately decorated on the outside by carvings in different shapes and figures depicting animals, plants, flowers, and mythological creatures. Its magnificent profile, studded with gold, white, and earth-red temples topped with bell-shaped turrets and gilded spires, remains one of the region's most stunning sights. Machu Picchu is one of the world's most famous archaeological sites. It was built by the Incas around 1450 AD. The site has a dramatic setting, extraordinary architecture, and rich history. Many people wonder why there are still unanswered questions about how this ancient city was built without the use of contemporary technology or even metal tools. It is located in the Andes at about 2,700 meters above sea level, with over 400 stone steps leading to it. It's known for its unusual dry stone walls, which are made without mortar, and niches found in many of the structures suggest that they were used as tombs or shrines. Two temples have been identified, one to the sun and another to the moon. The city is divided into different areas: agricultural terraces where maize was grown, a residential area that housed students from local tribes who studied at Machu Picchu, an urban center with plazas for making offerings of flowers to the gods, a central square which held the empire's most important buildings, and a religious area with the sacred temple of 3 windows. Another section is thought to have been an astronomical observatory, as it contains windows that align with celestial bodies, such as the sun and moon, on key dates in their cycles. A trail called the Inca Trail leads up from Machu Picchu through lush cloud forest to the ancient city of Vilcabamba, where many Incan people are believed to have fled after Machu Picchu was abandoned. Pyramids have been a fascination for us since their construction. The pyramids of Giza were built 4,500 years ago as a tomb for the 4th dynasty pharaoh Khufu. It once stood 481 feet high. Though they stand today as an icon that symbolizes ancient Egypt, there is still much mystery behind them. How they were built, what is inside of them, why it built. Each pyramid was once covered in white limestone that gleamed brilliantly under the sunlight. The outside walls are made up of huge slabs of stone weighing about 2 to 3 tons each and fitted together with great precision, and the only ancient wonders that remain relatively intact. While others have fallen into ruin, the Great Pyramid is believed by many scholars to be a wonder in itself, not just because it was built with such precision for its time, that would be hard enough, but also because of the way it was built, and also about their construction materials and who exactly was behind their creation. The Sphinx is also a mystery, with its origins still unknown and no one having any idea who built it or what the statue represents. It was carved out in limestone and originally had a lion's body with a human head. Theories range from it being an image of Khafre himself. Some archaeologists believe that the Sphinx was built to represent the rising and setting sun, or even Horus, the falcon god. The whole site is surrounded by massive stone walls, which were once decorated with depictions of life. The world is full of ancient architectural marvels. Many are still standing to this day, where they've been preserved by the passage of time and offer us a glimpse into our own past. From detailed city planning methods to incredible feats in engineering, these ruins have much to teach us about how people used to live thousands of years ago. What do you think was going through their minds when they built some of these famous structures? If you could travel back in time and see one site before it changes, what would that be? Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos about history and travel.